Hello, this is Mike of Need Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. Okay, this is my Asteroid Intercept mission. When last you saw me, if you remember that far back, I had massive confidence that I was going to be able to do this maneuver. Get my apoapsis to be basically where the asteroid is going to be, where it's going to be entering Kerbin's SOI. And then the idea is I get there and then I time this next orbit such that when I come back round again, I'll exactly meet up with the asteroid. This has turned out to be not possible. Basically, I didn't give myself enough time to do this. So I didn't have enough time to get out there and do another full orbit before the asteroid has left that point. So I then tried. I thought I'd come up with something clever using precise node and KOS and stuff, where what I would do is I would calculate. I'd set up the maneuver as I have done, and I would work out the maneuver apoapsis. And sorry, from given the maneuver burn and then the maneuver apoapsis, I get the calculated time from here to here, and then all I need to do is find out when that SOI change happens, right? When this encounter occurs. And thus subtract the difference between the burn and the apoapsis, subtract the transition time, and then I know exactly when to go. Now, obviously, that would mean that the maneuver would be, unless my orbit was just amazingly ridiculously precise. It wouldn't quite be an even number of orbits, so the new departure time would be somewhere around the orbit, depending on when exactly I needed to go. So then I would adjust my orbit slightly, so it's got a slightly different period, such that now everything lines up, everything kind of synchronizes, right? So I leave at the right point at the right time and arrive just when I need to. Slight problem being that I cannot, as far as I can work out, get the exact time of this. I can't get that encounter time. If it was a ship I controlled, I would be able to get that. Well, if it was a ship I controlled and I had a KOS module on it, I would be able to do this. Because it is not me, it's not that ship is not me, and I don't control it. And I don't have a KOS thing on it. I can't get that exactly. All I can do is basically say, right, that's 45 days, 5 hours and 55 minutes away. Put that into a calculator. Add that to the current time. Yeah, work out how many seconds that is. Add that to the current time. And use that, but that's only an approximation. Also, the other problem I've got is that the orbit that I would need, the change I need to make to my orbit to more or less get to where I want to be, is dinky. I mean, adding or subtracting tiny fractions of delta V completely changes my orbit. And so the best I can do, it seems, is to be within a few hours. That's 45 days, 2 hours, as to 45 days, 5 hours. So I'm going to be 3 hours ahead. Assuming I can do 0.16 meters per second. It's going to be a bit tough. Going to turn off RCS and point towards the maneuver node. The reason I'm turning off RCS is that because of the way RCS works, because it's actually jetting stuff into the into space, it will actually change the delta V. So if I just use, I want to, in this case, to use my reaction wheels. Now the other thing is, again, I remember having this thing. No matter where I put my intercept, it always insisted that my intercept was happening here on my orbit. And so that's where it thinks the target position is going to be when I have my intercept. And that's 66 days away, which is actually when the asteroid has already left. What I am hoping is, because I'm going to be 3 hours out, I am hoping that somewhere along the way, maybe I'll be able to do a course correction here, or maybe even here, and I'll be able to do some kind of catching up. Yeah. But this assumes that I'm going to be able to, of course we're at night, we're always at night, we never want to do anything. Yeah, so even if I put the thrust limit down as far as it can go, that's still 0.4 seconds. At full thrust, admittedly, I can do minimal thrust here. So there's a whole bunch of assumptions that I'm making, and it's going to require an amount of precision that I do not know I am capable of. In fact, I do not know if the game is capable of it. Yeah. I'm sure there is some clever way of doing it. I might have been better off aiming for the periapsis, because the periapsis is a number I can get off that. Using KOS, and I've got Computron sat at the KSC at the minute. If I can find it, not that it really matters. Where's KSC anyway? Just yeah. Where's KSC? There's Computron at the launch pad. There you go. There you go. Why I felt the need to show you that, I don't know. Yeah, so when will I have to do it? In 11 minutes. So I might as well fast forward to that point. Yeah. Intercepting. I need to find out if there's an actual proper way of doing this. You know, when is the sensible way of doing it? I mean, the other reason why maybe going for the periapsis would have been better is that it's closer. You know, now admittedly the craft is going, the asteroid will be going a lot faster. It's going to be at its fastest. So you know, the idea was to get hold of the asteroid very close to far out. So I've got lots of time to decide what I'm going to do, lots of time to set up the maneuvers, all that kind of good stuff. But all right, let's count down. Let's get to about 10 seconds. So now it's suddenly telling me I've got a massive 10 seconds, he says. But now it's suddenly saying I've got a huge phase change difference. Angle, so the angle's very different all of a sudden. Yeah. I don't know if this is even doable. Doesn't look like I've got a 6 degree angle problem. But I guess if it's saying, but I mean, like I said, I may well be going beyond what the game is in fact capable of in terms of accuracy. I'm beginning to wish I'd put more reaction wheels on this thing. Right, I think I'm just getting, right, that's as good as it's going to get. Right, so you can see how close I got it. I think I did reasonably well, in fact. Oh, let's turn that off. No, in fact, let's go prograde. Because now it's pointing towards the next maneuver, which I'm not going to be doing for 20 days. No, I wanted retrograde. That's right, I was going retrograde. Make sure I haven't done anything utterly idiotic to my periapsis. Because in theory, because I'm changing my orbit, that's the whole point of what I'm doing. Theoretically, I could have been changed because I'm close to where my periapsis was. So I mean, theoretically, by fiddling with my. Oh, that is now very good. No, that's okay. Oh. Well, let's have a little fiddle. Let's have a little fiddle. Let's just see what happens. Right, that's not helping. And in fact, it's doing the opposite of helping. Let's give it up. Yeah, okay. So with that as it stands, that's in the wrong place. And in fact, just makes me escape, which is not what I want. Oh, come on, you can do it. I've actually had to do this mission a couple of times due to me screwing up, accidentally saving, loading instead of saving at one point, which was extremely irritating because I've had to get to this point about 3 times, and I should have done more quick saves. Now I think about it, I should have done a quick save before I tried that maneuver, and I was going to, and I forgot. But I wish I had put more reaction wheels on this thing. I've also just remembered a mod I was going to install. There's one that, when you place these things, it tells you the how much of a torque it's going to give you. I forgot I was going to install that. Yeah, I think that's not helping. Okay. Right, so let's just move that and see if that. Right, there we go. Oh, and I immediately lost it. Great. And again, it's saying my intercepts only happen here, but. Now I'm confused. Why is that 21? Oh, because, oh, nerds. I did something stupid. Because that's now changed. Change by manually, by grabbing the nose. I reset it, which is not what I wanted. There we go, that's better. So why that's gone down to, oh, it's gone down to 40 days, yeah, that's okay. So what I want to do, instead of moving it by clicking and dragging, I need to do it from here. There we go. So my periapse is in 45 days, 4 hours. Now I'm only an hour behind. Now admittedly an hour is going to be a hell of a long time. But I reckon I've got a much better chance than I did before, I reckon. I have no idea how it's calculating intercepts, so I'm just going to ignore all that intercept information until I get out there. And I'm not going to fiddle with this anymore. I'm just going to go with it as it is. So I'm now going to quick save this. Because now, pretty much all I can do is wait for the next 24 days and see how this goes. And I suddenly realised this is going to be a pain in the everything because I've got a low orbit. And I should have. Oh well, warping is going to be a pain in the buttocks because I'm not going. It's 50. It's 24 days I have to wait. And I'm not going to be able to go more than times 50. Oh no, I can cheat. I can go to another. I can go to another craft. So I'll do that instead. Anyway, you don't want to wait around for that. So I'm going to say, hopefully you've been enjoying this ridiculously stupid thing. We'll see how this goes next time. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please visit Nearly Enough Dice at nearlyenough.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach for the stars.